So now we will continue chapter 3, part 2. That is a selection control structure. Okay, guys. Previously, we have learned about a lot of about arithmetic equation. We learned about Boolean expression and so on. So now we will learn about selection control structure. Okay, what is that? Okay, as you can see, selection control structure is used when a choice or a decision needs to be made between two or more action. So we know that now we have a choice between two or more action. This control structure is commonly specified using the keyword if and else. If else. So as you can see at the slide, okay, we have a if this, else this. If then, else then. Okay, so we know that this is the selection control structure. Okay, consider the scenario Ali wants to go to Kuala Lumpur. There are many options of transportation to KL. You are required to help Ali to make his decision. If Ali goes to KL by car, total expenses is 250 ringgit Malaysia. Total hours is 5 hours. If Ali goes to KL by bus, total expenses is 100 ringgit Malaysia, and total hours is same 5 hours. If Ali goes to KL by flight, total expenses is 300 ringgit and total hours is 1 hour. So as you know that this is all the decision that Ali need to make. So by car, maybe total expenses is not so expensive and not so cheap, but the total hour is high. If by bus is quite cheaper and the same hours by car. But if Ali decided to go to KL by flight, Ali just need to add on 50 more ringgit. But the total hours that Ali will arrive at KL is just only 1 hour. So this is what we call a decision, decision that Ali need to make. Okay. So statement in selection structure are execute based on selected conditions. The condition is formed by the Boolean expression. Okay, there are three type of selection structure. One way, that is a if. So one way. Two way of selection structure. Okay, two way of selection is if else. If not this, else this. Okay, if we choose this, then we will get the result is this. Else we will get the result like this. Okay, and then multi-way selection. Multi-way selection is a nested if. Okay, um, as we go deeper, you will see what's mean by one-way selection, two-way selection, and multi-way selection. Okay, selection control structure, one-way selection. What is that? It's used when there is only one choice. Okay, if the condition is true, statement 1 is executed. If the condition is false, then no processing will take place and the if statement will be passed. Okay, or we call it the if statement is ignored. Okay. Okay, the syntax is as follow. Okay, if and then expression, then statement. Okay, next, flowchart of one-way selection. Okay, as you know, we will start here. This is the condition. Okay, if true, it will execute the statement 1. If false, then it will end the condition. Okay, it will end the process. Okay, For example, write a flowchart, a pseudocode, and C++ program to determine whether X is greater than Y. So, as you know, we will make some analysis. There is program specification. We have an input, X and Y. Process determine whether X is greater than Y, or the output, okay, print X greater than Y. So the output will print X greater than Y. Okay, for example, in the design phase, or we call it as a pseudocode. Okay, pseudocode. We start we start with the start. Okay, start statement, and then input X and Y. Okay, if X is greater than Y, okay, then display X is greater than Y. Okay, so we know that if X is greater than Y, then display X is greater than Y, and then end. So this is the pseudocode. The flowchart, okay, as you can see, here is the flowchart. Okay, we begin with the start. Okay, you must put it in the bullet, in the round, we call it maybe a round icon, oval icon, start, and then we have input X, Y. Okay, so this is the condition. X is greater than Y. Okay, this is the condition. If true, then it will print true. It will print X is greater than Y, and then it will go to end. Okay, if false, automatically it will end the process. Okay. In the coding phase, okay, in the coding phase, so include IO stream, integer main, okay, integer X, Y, see out, enter value for X and Y. Why? Why? Because they need to insert or input two value. That is a value for X and Y. So as we know, it will input here, okay, X and Y. Okay, so this is the selection. The selection, if X greater than Y, then it will print X is greater than Y. So end line. So we end the code. Okay, that is one way. This is a two-way selection. Okay, so two-way selection, as we know that it's a simple selection occurs when the choice is made between two alternative paths depending on the result of a condition being true or false. Okay, we know that if the condition return true or false is a Boolean expression, right? Okay, as the previous video, we have learned about Boolean expression. So we know that in the two-way selection, we will use this Boolean expression. If one of the selections will be executed depending on the result of the condition in the if clause. Okay, so for example, the syntax if and then expression statement 1 else statement 2. Okay, previously we said that input X and input Y. Okay, if X is greater than Y, okay, so it will print X is greater than Y. So in two-way selection, if X is greater than Y, statement 1 should be, okay, it will see out, it will print X is greater than Y. Else, it will print X is smaller than Y. So that's why we have a two alternative or two-way selection. Okay. Okay, the flowchart is something like this. We will begin with the start, and then the expression. Okay, and then if true, then statement 1. Okay, statement 1, and then goes to n. Okay, if false, if the expression is false, it will go to statement 2, and then will go to n. So this is the two-way selection. Okay, this is the uh, programming the code. Okay, so we know that integer number. Okay, in number. So we know that we will input a number. If number modulus by 2 equals to 0. Okay, this is mathematical expression, or we call it as a maths in the maths. So we know that number modulus by 2 equals to 0. Okay, see out the number is even. Okay, else the number is odd. Okay, odd number. So this is the flowchart. Okay, we start and then input a number, any number, and then the condition is here. Okay, the condition if is here. If the number that we input, let's say 2 modulus by 2, okay, so equals to 0. So it's true, right? So it will print out the number is even. Okay, and then let's say we put it 3 modulus by 2. Okay, 3 modulus by 2 not equals to 0. Okay, so it will give a false answer. So it will print the number is odd, and then it's n. Okay. Okay, so this exercise, I need you to write a program and then send to me through Google Classroom. Okay, and then write a program that asks for a character, either M or F, male or female, and display for the user whether the person is male or female. Okay, so we know that male or female will receive value as a character. Okay, so that's why we put it as a character, gender. Okay, so see out. Okay, enter your gender, and then whatever you enter, whether is it M or F, so it will store in gender. Okay, if gender equals to M, then it will print you are male. Okay, you are a male. Okay, else you are a female. Okay, please note that if else, okay, once you have just only if and else, okay, we know that the first if is true, else is false. Okay, so in the statement, else statement, you don't have to put else gender equals to F. No, you cannot put like that. Okay, because it's just only a two-way selection. So we know that either it's a true or it's a false. Okay, so if it's true, then it will print out the first line. If false, it will go to second line, else, and then it will go to it will print this line. Okay, so please note that if else statement just only the condition, you just need to put only one condition, so the program, the computer will automatically know that if the value that you put or you insert the value is false, it will execute the second line of output. Okay. Okay, two-way selection, combined selection. Okay, in the combined selection, if the condition are combined using the connector and, okay, it says that both condition must be true. Because of what? Because of the connector is and. Okay, so previously we learned about and sign. Okay, so we know that both condition must be true. okay, for the combined condition to be true. If the connector or is used to combine any two conditions, okay, then only one of the conditions need to be true for the combined condition to be considered as true. So as we learned previously, if and, so both must be at the same value, that is true and true. Okay, but if we use or connection, so we know that just only have one need to be true. Okay, if both uh, true also is okay. Okay, but for all, usually we will put it one true and one false. Okay, so anything that goes to this type of connector, okay, the combined selection, so we will know that if or, we can choose. Okay, if or, then the output or the input can be uh, one true and one false. Okay, okay, so this is the example with using connector and. Okay, integer number equals to 2 if, okay, number greater than 0. 2 is greater than 0, right? Okay, so it's true. Okay, and, okay, you see here. Okay, and number modulus by 2 equals to 0. Okay, it will print what? Number is positive and even. Okay, because true and true. Okay, if, okay, else, okay, maybe the number is 2, number equals to 2, okay, more than 0, okay, and number modulus by 2 not equals to 0, so we know that this statement is false. Okay, so it will go to this line. The number is negative or odd. Okay, example using connector or. Okay, so integer number equals to 2 if number greater than 0, or number modulus by 2 equals to 0. So it will print number is positive or even. Okay, please note that the number is positive or even. Okay, why? Because this is the true statement. Number greater than 0. So we know that 2 is greater than 0. So we know that any number that greater than 0 is a positive. Okay, and then we use or connector. Then number modulus by 2 equals to 0. So we know that number modulus by 2 equals to 0 is an even number. Okay, else number is negative and odd. Okay, so we know that the number is negative and odd. So as you know, maybe the number is negative 2, maybe the number is negative 5, so it's a false here. Okay, and then the number modulus by 2 is 0, so we know that the number is negative and odd. Okay, I hope that you understand what I am trying to say here. Okay, so okay, this is an exercise. Please write a program that can determine whether a number can be divisible by 2 and 4 or not. Use combined selection statement. Okay, please please do this, and please send it into a Google Classroom. Okay, that's all for today. So this is a two-way selection. We know we learn about one-way selection, two-way selection. So I hope that you can understand what I am trying to say, what I am trying to tell you about one-way and two-way selection, if else statement. Okay, so See you next time. Bye.